The Boston Celtics are the best team in the NBA, but are there any teams that could challenge them in the playoffs? Who comes close is...
It still has to be Milwaukee.
It still has to be...
East only.
Yeah, it still has to be Milwaukee just because they have the best star power. We also react to the latest NFL news as free agency approaches.
Like what Mike Evans described is he wants to go on a team that has is capable of winning a Super Bowl, wants to get paid, play with an elite quarterback, not like a rookie quarterback.
UCL games are back this week, and stay tuned for our predictions.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, and also check out our Elias Pettersson contract extension reaction video that dropped yesterday.
Yeah, as promised, we said we were going to drop that before our next episode if he had signed. He did Saturday morning. We ended up dropping it Sunday morning, so make sure you guys check that out.
But let's get into today's. Start off with NBA.
Yeah, let's go with the NBA. Not obviously, there's a lot of news. NHL we'll get to it later, but we're going to focus NHL next episode because of the trade deadline. So, we thought what's the biggest news right now going around currently in sports? Obviously, the NFL Combine's going on. We'll talk about the rumors and the cuts and the tags later on. But NBA, we have to talk about this. I think we both are going to dread talking about this because I'm a Laker fan. You're a Raptor fan. It's the Boston Celtics. On an 11-game win streak, we're recording this right when they beat the Warriors by 52 points.
52 points.
Right? I'm pretty sure that math is correct on that.
Yeah.
So... yeah, let's just get right into it. We'll talk about the Boston Celtics, talk about some other teams as well. But 11-game win streak. They're currently by far and away the best team in the NBA. 8.5 games up on Cleveland. Cleveland still needs to play the Knicks.
Are you surprised
that they're this good?
That they're this good? Because no. I'll be honest with you, I'm not.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised there's a gap between them and the Bucks.
Yeah.
Sure, but I'm not surprised that they're first
because
by this
you got your... What we said in the off-season for the Cavs, to get a point guard, not Cavs, the Celtics, is to get a point guard and to get a big.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis fits the big perfectly. He could rim protect. He's big, like he's 7 feet, and he can shoot the 3-ball.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday can handle the ball and defend. You don't need scoring.
Yeah.
Brown and Tatum could do that, and they've been doing that. They just made perfect fits, right? To perfect additions to the roster, and not like... It's not like these guys are like, role players, right? Like they're up there, right? Like Holiday as is like the type of player Holiday is the best at what he is.
He has all-star potential.
Like you could obviously, when you think of like the defense first point guards, you could think of like a
Marcus Smart
and stuff, right? Like Holiday is the best at that.
Yeah.
Right? Porzingis is one of the best at being that versatile guy as a big.
Stretch big,
that
can rim protect. Yeah, no, for sure. Like him and Miles Turner come in my head.
They didn't get anybody. They got the two best at their...
Yeah, were available. Yeah. No, I get your point. And the other point is Porzingis did not play this game. So they are able to rest a couple of players as long as two of them are playing. Obviously based on the NBA rules as well. But you could, if Porzingis and Tatum wanted to sit out, I'm confident in Brown and Holiday and that team in general to get out a win. It might not be a dominant win, but get out a win depending on the team they're playing, of course.
But they have a cushion.
Yeah,
they could afford to lose.
Not even just that. Even if there was no cushion, if someone was slightly injured, you could be like, oh yeah, sit down, right?
You can, yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not surprised that they're this good because obviously for me it was a pick 'em between them and the Bucks to go to the finals. A little bias shown. I went with the better duo. We'll talk about the Bucks later because they're on the rise as well. They're on a 5-game win streak. But yeah, no, to your point, the two they upgraded their point guard position because Drew Holiday is a better point guard. Like he could pass more than Marcus Smart. I believe he's an upgrade just from that alone. I think he's the better defender than Marcus Smart. I'm not saying Marcus Smart is a slouch. He is a really good defender.
Holiday's a better defender.
But Holiday, in my opinion, is very underrated because he never got the chance to win a DPOY as well. And Porzingis, like you said, 4th overall pick at one point. The only thing that hurt him was the injuries. There was once upon a time that him and Luka were supposed to be that duo. Obviously, it did not work out. He was like this 7'4" shoot or whatever height he is, shooting guard instead of being what he was. Obviously, ended up going to Washington, showed that he was the 4th overall pick, that all-star with the Knicks for a reason. And then, like I said, perfect fit, right? I always said they should go after Miles Turner, right? No, they ended up upgrading with
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Who starts with them? Was it Horford or White as
White.
the fifth guy?
And then let's talk
Yeah,
about that. Let's
Derek White, that's what I
perfect
bring-
transition there.
Yeah, because I want to talk
You
about Derek
have the
White.
best defensive backcourt duo. I think you
Derek
have.
White and Drew Holiday.
Derek White, whenever his contract is up, is gonna get paid.
He
like
will,
how Bruce
yeah.
Brown got paid, he's gonna get paid more,
Exactly.
right? Like Derek White has, like on this team, like realistically, all 5 of their players could have been all stars. Like,
Yeah, honestly.
obviously, it's not gonna happen. We know
Yeah.
that. The most realistic ones were gonna be the front 3, the 2 forwards and Porzingis, right? Like Drew Holiday was an all-star last year, right? And then obviously Derek White will never be an all-star probably unless he gets his own team and goes crazy. But yeah, no, like they addressed that perfectly. They're a well-run franchise that many teams
Bro,
wish that they have.
Look at this. All right, you got Holiday, White, Tatum, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis. All 5 of those guys can defend.
And then you have a locker room guy and a guy coming off the bench with Al Horford,
Yeah.
who also could defend.
Exactly. So you have 6 legit guys that could defend, right? You go on the offensive side, you have Tatum, one of the best scorers in the league.
Superstar, MVP, one
Brown,
of the MVP favorites.
Brown scores at an all-star level because he's been an all-star multiple times,
Yeah.
right? Porzingis could hit the 3-ball. Derek White could hit the 3-ball. And then
Drew Holiday could hit the three
Drew
ball.
Holiday chips in offensively whenever he needs to as well.
Yeah. And then like on their
Like I've said the Clippers are one of the most well-rounded teams ever.
they're both they're
But
right there.
It's the Celtics. There's Celtics Clippers right there on paper are like 2 of the best
Because
teams.
listen, their bench isn't the greatest, right? Like, obviously, when you have a team like that, like Horford's coming off your bench, he's not gonna be your scorer. Your guy off the bench, spark plug guy would be Peyton Pritchard, right? So yes, there will be concerns when you come rest, but again, you have 6 legit guys, 5 legit guys. You could just alternate lineups, right? So my question to you is this: before we transition away from the Celtics, but there's a couple of more things I want to add. Who comes close to the Celtics when it comes to playoff time? Because their biggest weakness, in my opinion, is 2 things. It's Joe Mazzulla.
And their bench.
And well, okay, the bench aside, so
Yeah.
3. But the way they play is more jump shooting than driving, right?
Yeah.
And
So
it hurt them.
basically-
It hurt them in the playoffs last year.
So basically, they gotta. I would say Joe Mazzulla still, just because that's on the coach,
yeah,
right? You gotta score in different ways,
yeah.
right? You gotta be able to drive to open up your jump shot. You gotta shot. You gotta hit your
Especially-
shots to open up your drive as well.
Because Jaylen Brown is known for that. Like he has no left hand, right? And
Yeah,
he can't
yeah.
dribble. And he's shown it in the playoffs. He
He
can't
turned
at
over
times.
many times, right?
So that's where their weakness is. But let's stick on the regular season. We'll do some
Who
projections.
comes close is
It still has to be Milwaukee.
It still
From
has
the
to be
East only.
yeah. It still has to be Milwaukee just because they have the best star power to
Okay.
do it, right?
So before we talk about Milwaukee, 'cause
Like Giannis could slow down Tatum,
for sure,
right? Holiday can't slow down Lillard.
100%, because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
We've seen
So-
it before when they played each other a couple of years, many years ago. I think the year before the Trailblazers made this conference final. That I think in 2018 is when they played, and
So,
that's
yeah.
when like AD went off against them,
Yeah.
right?
So, but it comes to this, where like who could stop
So-
who could slow down Giannis? That's what it comes down to as well.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because coaching advantage, you want to say Doc, but we've seen Doc in the playoffs
Yeah,
recently.
no, coaching is even.
Yeah,
they're
but-
both
yeah.
equally not great.
But Doc, I think this is Doc's best team in terms of star power duo. I know he had Harden last year with Embiid. Yeah, last year. I would take Giannis and Dame, especially over that Harden, that version of Harden in Philly.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
for
taking
sure, for
Dame
sure.
over
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
100%.
And I'm taking Giannis because he's proven it in the playoffs more than Embiid, and he's more in shape and healthier, right?
Okay, so when you look at it, right, Giannis is the best player in the series, and
Yeah,
right, like he edges Tatum,
by half a tier. For
yeah,
sure.
by a little bit, right. Tatum is obviously second best. Dame is the third best, right?
I would
Da-
go with
yeah,
that.
Dame
Dame struggled this year a little
is
bit.
Dame struggling this year? Yes, but when does Damian Lillard shine? In the clutch.
Yeah.
When it matters most, we see the best
And
Damian
on top
Lillard.
of that, you still have Chris Middleton, who I know is struggling. You have Brooke Lopez, right? So they have guys. Malik Beasley could shoot, but that's it. He's not a good defender.
So, like, yes, has this duo been as good as they're supposed to be? No, they have not. We could clearly
Listen,
say that.
Damian Lillard has come out and said, like, listen, it's an adjustment period for him, not just on the court with Giannis and now 2 coaches, let alone 1. It's also, he talked about his mental. Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
he-
I have no one here. He's going through a divorce.
Yeah.
People, I understand the logic of you're making millions of dollars, all that. Listen, I get that you should not be complaining that way, but on a mental toll, like you're gonna go through stuff like people booing you. I have no sympathy for that, right? You signed up for that. You did not sign up going through a divorce and being by yourself.
Yeah, that's just like
right. So it's gonna take time for him
shit
mentally
happens,
to
right?
adjust.
Shit happens in life, right? But I'm fully confident to say that like Damian Lillard will show up in the clutch time, which is playoff time. I
Yeah,
could
he's
say
had his
that.
moments where he has been quiet, but he's had his
I
moments.
know, but
AKA
he could afford to be quiet when you
Yeah.
have Giannis.
Yeah, but if he can't, but however,
But if you're playing the Celtics, you can't.
however, that's my point. Then you need Middleton going.
Yeah, you need
Right.
Middleton going as well.
So
I mean, yeah, like honestly,
Listen, they're on
Celtics
five-
gonna have their 3 guys going.
they're
Middleton
playing-
has to be going as
they're
well.
playing better defensively. They added Patrick Beverly, so they added that dog, which is a great pickup for them. The guy in someone's ear always. He's not. Listen, as much as Pat Bev annoys me a lot, he's still that guy you want on your team. Because even on the Lakers, he talked like to everybody. He's talked like Minnesota. You saw him how he celebrated.
Exactly right. He's a
And
he's a
then
hype
the
man.
thing that annoys me is when he leaves and he talks shit about
He's
the
a hype
team.
man. He
Yeah.
defends. He puts in effort.
Exactly, right?
Right,
So
like,
you have that.
You can't ask him for
Listen,
more.
Doc, at the end of the day, here's the thing with Doc. He's still been there and done that, right? You have a team that's also minus Damian Lillard has been through the whole thing. Majority of those guys, the key guys, are still there.
The 3 main guys, yeah. And
One, four.
Lopez.
Yeah, 3 of those guys. Then you could say Bobby Portis off the bench, even though he's
Yeah.
been struggling. But you have the guys have done that. I still listen. This is obviously Doc's last chance. We know
Oh yeah,
that.
we
for
know
sure.
that. We know that.
He's done doing something, right? They're on a 5-game win streak right now. They're still third place at the moment based on current moment standings, right? On this day. So, yeah, like you said Milwaukee's going to make the final, right?
At the beginning of the season, yes.
Are you changing that pick?
Yes.
Okay.
I-
I'm still okay, listen. Obviously, we know I'm not changing my pick. I'm going to just stick by it. Like I said, I'm not going to be surprised if the Celtics make it, right? Especially with how they've looked this year. But my question again with the Celtics is, can Joe Mazzulla learn from his mistakes from last year?
Yeah.
And some of those guys do go quiet at times, right?
They do, yeah.
We saw the NBA Finals. Jason Tatum was a
But,
little quiet.
but now they learned from that,
Yeah.
right? They figured.
But they
figured
also
out
were a
some shit.
team that went down 3-0 to Miami.
Yeah, but
who I
they're
know beat other
but
teams
they're a
along the
better
way.
team than that now.
They're a better team than that, for sure.
Yeah,
The
but-
question mark with the Celtics will be Joe Mazzulla. The question mark for the
Bucks.
Bucks will be Doc Rivers a little bit, but I will give a little bit more faith to Doc because he's more experienced than Joe Mazzulla.
All right, one last. Or if you finish, I'll go after you.
What are you gonna finish on?
Huh? I was gonna finish on Celtics.
Oh no, so let me continue
Yeah.
then. So let's close out from the East, and we're gonna go to the West, comparing to the Celtics still. How much confidence do you have in a series current version Cleveland Cavaliers and Boston Celtics if they were to meet up in the playoffs?
It'll be a close series.
What's the series for you?
I'll say 4-2 Celtics.
Okay. What about the Knicks?
4-2 Celtics.
And what about the Heat? We know what the Heat.
We know what the Heat could
They're the
do.
most volatile team I've seen.
They are. I would say
Kevin
4.
Rozier is struggling right now.
I'll say 4-3 just because the last 2 times they met, it was 4-3. One Celtics won the first time. Heat won last year. So I'll just say 4-3. But I'm gonna give it to Celtics.
And then Sixers with Embiid coming back, and you not 100%.
I'm probably gonna say 4-2. Embiid.
So you're not gonna say 4-0, 4-1 for any of these teams?
Yeah, I'll probably lean 4-1 to the Knicks. I do have a little bit more faith in the Cavs. So I'll say 4-2 that. So I'll go 4-1 Knicks.
With the Embiid Sixers, I'm going like 4-1.
Oh yeah, I'll
I
probably
think that's easy for, especially if you don't have a healthy Embiid and you have a stopper in Horford,
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I
Right?
forgot about Horford. Yeah, Horford's gonna be key.
right? And then
Yeah.
you have Porzingis still there waiting. as
Yeah,
well.
honestly, that might be a 4-0.
As much as Embiid
That
was,
might be a 4-0.
as much as Embiid was easy MVP for me before he got hurt.
He's not a playoff guy.
He's
at the
he
moment.
hasn't been shown to be a playoff guy. Last year when he came back, he did give the Heat struggle, but okay, so that's the East side of things.
All right.
Let's go to the West.
No, before
Or
I
you
go
wanna
to
close
that,
it out?
let's
Yeah.
for Celtics finish.
No,
on
but
the-
we're comparing some teams from.
yeah,
the
no,
West
no,
as
but like this is like Celtics like,
okay,
on the
okay,
team.
yeah, sure.
How much does the best player on the best team deserve an MVP?
See, that's the tough part, right?
In this case, it's Jason Tatum. Because, yeah.
Like I get that, but then like you could say, like okay, it's that Hawks team.
Yeah,
Did Horford deserve MVP?
probably not.
Your Raptors team, did DeMar DeRozan deserve MVP? The last
No,
year before
yeah,
the team
yeah,
broke
yeah,
up.
no.
I think you guys were the best team in the NBA.
Or yeah, we were the 1 seed. So
At least
one of the
in,
best.
in
too.
the East
Yeah.
for sure. But I'm not sure if you guys were the best overall NBA. But that DeMar.
I'm pretty sure it was the Warriors.
Okay, but like let's just hypothetically say it was the Raptors. You're a Raptor fan. Did DeMar deserve MVP?
No.
Right? So I'm not saying Tatum does not deserve MVP. If he wins it, fair game. I'm not sitting here.
He's every part of the
One
conversation.
person's gonna win it, and we've had a short list of Shea, Jokic,
Luka,
Kawhi, Luka,
Giannis.
Tatum, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell. Like these are like guys that I have like up there right now. You could argue a Jalen Brunson. You could argue, I think those are the main ones.
Yeah,
KD maybe at the most.
Those are
right?
the main ones, yeah.
I get it, but you look at he has another All-Star partner with him, an All-Star caliber partner with him, an all-defensive backcourt duo with him as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like what for me is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
It's still Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I'm on that boat too. So.
Right? Because let's hypothetically say, let's just say, because then
Because I feel
the
like
Timberwolves, are you gonna give it to Anthony Edwards?
no, but here's my take on this. I feel like Tatum doesn't have a story.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Right, Shai has.
You're sounding like Perkins right now.
Yeah,
Or
I'm not-
sorry, Draymond Green right now.
It's okay. Like the situation.
Yes.
Yeah, right, I'll say
that
that's a better
heavily
word.
matters in this.
Right, like Shai is the guy. Shai can't afford an off night.
Exactly.
The Thunder are gonna lose if Shai has an off night.
Yeah.
Tatum could have an off night and Drew Holiday steps up in points, or Jaylen Brown.
Emerges. Yeah.
Jaylen Brown be the number one shooter.
Like Luka
on that
doesn't.
team.
Like I guess you have Kyrie, right? You still have a little bit there.
I know, but like Luka can't afford it either.
Yeah.
He just can't.
But more so, Shai cannot.
But Shai genuinely
definitely
cannot.
cannot.
Shai definitely
Right,
cannot.
Chet, as good as Chet has been, and unfortunately he might not win Rookie of the Year because what Wemby's been doing down the stretch. As much as Chet deserves it, I don't think it's unanimous Wemby. That's just me. I would love to give Chet a vote because of
Chet deserves
because
a
of
vote.
his impact on a playoff team.
Chet
as
deserves
well.
one vote. Yeah.
Right, Wemby, like I get it. He might get unanimous because it is Wembanyama, but like Shai cannot afford to have a bad day, like you said. Whenever he does, he probably loses unless you get like a miraculous Game 7 Lou Dort game, right?
Yeah.
From like from the bubble.
And then like the numbers obviously support Shai, right? Shai is like, I think Embiid's still top scorer, right? Is that?
Well, take Embiid out of it. You can't.
But Shai's been like,
Yeah,
I don't know who top scorer
I think Luka's up there.
is Luka ahead of him?
Luka 34.5. Yeah, because this is updated with Embiid out now.
So he's second.
34.5 is Luka.
Shai is second.
31.2 is Shai.
Yeah.
And then Giannis is at 30.8. So those are the 330 guys. Then you have D Mitch at 28. Brunson's at 27.7. I didn't know he was that high.
Yeah,
To be
Brunson was
honest with
pretty
you, I
high
didn't know he
too.
was that high. Yeah. So like for me, unfortunately, I get why he's not gonna get it. Did Steph or KD get it?
No, not really, right?
Right. So you can't say like that. I get it. Tatum will probably end up getting it if he wins a chip. Like Draymond saying that like, oh, it's because like, you know, he has to win a chip or whatever. I think
That makes no
I think
sense.
it's
That
BS.
makes no sense. It's a regular season award.
Yeah, like for me, it's.
He doesn't have to-
you have to look at the narrative, right? Like when Jokic won it, even though I probably would have given it to Embiid,
Jokic is carrying.
he was carrying without two of his. He has All-Star.
Tatum's
caliber
not carrying,
teammates.
right? Tatum's not carrying. That's that. At the end of the day, like, it's a different story, right? If everyone was like, you know, good, right? Like Shai had a partner, you know.
He will have a partner.
Yeah, like Lucas and Kyrie are both up there, you know, all
Yeah.
that stuff. If everyone had a partner, Jason Tatum is the MVP.
But I will not be mad if Jason Tatum gets MVP.
Yeah, I won't be mad.
I wouldn't. He does not have my vote.
Yeah, he just doesn't have
He
a
just
vote.
happens to have like a star-studded team around him. He deserves all the love. I feel like he does get disrespected. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I do feel like he does get disrespected a lot.
But, yeah, but like,
I feel like he is still the main number one guy on that team. He just
Yes,
happens to have a
he's-
two. He
he's
just happens to have a
clearly-
2A and a 2B.
he's clearly the number one guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He just
That's
happens to have
clear.
elite 2A and a 2B on this team.
But yeah, so let's move on to the West comparisons to the
Yeah,
Celtics.
So let's start off with it. Let's go with the top. If they were to meet in the finals, how much of a chance are you giving the OKC Thunder, and how much of a chance are you giving the Minnesota Timberwolves?
4-0, 4-1 at best.
Okay, how much of a chance are you giving the Clippers? Are the Clippers the only team that, in your opinion, that could beat them?
Yeah, I mean, at their best, it's just
It's
hard. Like Clippers are an F team, man. They're very
Assume
big
they're
F
healthy.
team.
Assume you've seen them what they're doing.
Yeah, no, but like even when they're healthy, like you've seen games where like the Lakers game, they had no business blowing that lead.
Yeah, Paul George wasn't playing though.
Still, they had no
I know.
business.
I'm just saying in general.
They had no business blowing that lead, right? They do some stupid shit when they're healthy.
Yeah.
So, but we've seen Celtics do some stupid shit in the playoffs too. I think Clippers. Could, I think the Clippers could beat the Celtics.
I'm edging the Clippers.
I
I
feel-
a 7-gamer. I'm edging the Clippers. Ty Lue's a factor in that.
Yeah, Ty Lue.
Ty Lue is also the factor of why they lost that game because you were getting pissed off watching that Laker game.
I was pissed
when
off.
we were sitting right here. It was during the podcast.
Like you're switching
recorded
Kawhi
that
with
at this.
Daniel Tice every single
Yeah.
time, man. Like double LeBron, he's cooking you.
Yeah. So Yeah, like I trust Kawhi more than Tatum. Sorry, I'm not saying
Kawhi's
that.
done it, yeah.
Tatum
Kawhi's
might be the
done
better
it.
player, but right
Kawhi's
now,
done it. Kawhi's done
Kawhi's
it.
been there and done that. Kawhi gets underrated superstar love now because of the injuries, but I think that's the only team that could beat him. How about the Suns?
Suns do have the star power. Their defense is gonna be an issue,
How about the
right?
Nuggets?
Like we seen,
Okay, sorry, let's stick with Suns. Yeah,
we seen Tatum slow down Durant in the Nets
yeah.
Celtics series
But
like a couple years ago
Tatum.
when the
Who are you
Celtics
taking?
won
Who are you
4-0.
taking? That Kyrie or this Booker?
I'll take this Booker,
So there's a factor there.
but there's a Drew Holiday.
Yeah, I know that.
There's a
then
Drew
but then you
Holiday.
have Bradley Beal. Then you have
There's a Derek White.
Yeah, so
The matchup is like, it has to be a high. If it's like Suns' only chance of winning is if it's a shootout.
Yeah.
If it comes down to defense, if the Suns need to make a last stop, I don't trust them.
Yeah, you're fair on that. Like they
Yeah.
added Royce O'Neal, which is big, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Denver Nuggets. You got to give some respect there too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Denver Nuggets
But again, do they have a guy to stop those guys?
they don't have a guy to stop, a Tatum.
Is that Aaron Gordon?
It's Aaron Gordon, but like
Then who? No one else. Like,
No one
You
else.
don't
But
trust
they-
Jokic as a defender.
Uh,
Listen, Jokic.
Jokic is nobody's stopping Jokic.
No one's stopping. Jokic.
Nobody's
The way
stopping
he just
Jokic.
plays is weird. Like
Right.
he'll get defended by 80 well on, and then 0.5 seconds left, just do a weird
He's gonna make a play,
jump
whether it
shot
be
all
an
the way.
assist, whether it be a
Yeah,
second assist, whether it be a point.
yeah.
It's gonna come down to Murray, how Holiday defends Murray there, because
Okay.
we've seen Murray elevate his game in the playoffs.
Let's go to the play-in teams. I'm saying I'm sure you're saying the Pelicans are probably
Pelicans are
4-1.
done.
Okay, the Mavericks.
It's the Celtics still. Mavericks are just they're not a complete.
We're projecting as well.
Yeah.
Their defense is not that great.
There is not.
The Golden State Warriors.
Nope.
Minus today.
No chance.
Minus today. They've been on a heater.
They have been on a heater.
They were on
but
a heater.
I'm not giving.
They were 7-3 in their last.
I'll
10.
say like 4-2.
Okay, Lakers. They're
Yeah.
the most weirdest team. you
They're
could
the
have.
weirdest team ever because they perform in the playoffs. They really do.
But their kryptonite is the Denver Nuggets. So in order to get them, they have to go through the Nuggets.
Yeah, they have to.
But how much you have LeBron who's killing it.
You have LeBron, you have AD, right? Like AD.
It's just a supporting cast.
It
you can't trust.
it depends on if AD could be consistent offensively, right?
And then who's your third guy and fourth guy?
Because you're gonna need 3.
Listen, if they make the finals, it sucks for me to say it. It's gonna be the Celtics.
It's gonna be the
4-2,
Celtics.
4-1
Yeah, it's gonna be
even.
the Celtics. Because Celtics have 4 guys that you could say that they could score the ball,
Yes.
right? At their best, like Celtics have 4 guys. You can't say
And
that
I'm
about
not
the Lakers.
trusting. And then if you're talking about the coaching matchup, I ain't trusting Dortmund.
Oh yeah.
That's the biggest
Darvin
factor
Ham
here.
is
Like if I'm ranking all these West coaches against them, number 1 is Ty Lue, right? Number 2 is Frank Vogel because he's been there and done that. Strictly coaches, sorry,
Denver's.
yes, Mike Malone.
Yeah.
Number 2, and then number 3 is Frank Vogel, right? Steve Kerr, you want to say it, but his personnel is gonna let him
His
down.
personnel is not good enough.
Yeah, do they have an answer for Steph Curry? No, but then who's gonna be their second guy? Wiggins is unfortunately out. Kuminga is the guy right now.
Because in that finals when they played each other 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was,
Yeah,
Wiggins was the second guy on the Warriors.
yeah, and he's the reason why Tatum couldn't go off.
Yeah,
And the reason why he
Wiggins
got a max extension.
and Wiggins he produced points wise as well in
Yeah.
that series, right? Like if Curry didn't go off the way he did, Wiggins would have been the Finals MVP.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There was a debate about that for sure.
Yeah, it's just that Curry, had those games.
And then then the narrative fit Curry as
Yeah,
well. I'm
narrative-
not saying that's the reason he deserved it.
And the
He
narrative,
fully
yeah,
deserved
Curry
it.
did deserve it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like Wiggins had a case for Finals MVP.
Exactly. Okay, we'll cap it there for that part of the conversation. Sticking with the NBA though. Let's talk about the Spurs. Right? I want to ask you, are they still in a rebuild starting next year?
Yeah,
Because I
unless they make a major move.
I was listening to numbers on the board.
Yeah,
And I agree 100% with them because I was thinking the exact same thing. No, I'm not stealing their content. I'm just trying to see if my opinion matches them or not. Like again, we are our own
Yeah.
show as well. I'm saying after the rebuild, you got the guy. Go out and trade for Trae Young. Go out and trade for whoever's
yeah, no,
available.
but are they or can they do that?
Yes.
Huh?
I'm sure they'll have a top pick this year. If
So
they
are talking about like
they're in a rebuild. We know this year they're in a rebuild.
yeah.
Their rebuild is accelerated massively, even ahead of OKC. because you have Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, so that's what you're asking. I
Yeah.
thought you meant like rebuild. Like they're gonna be
Are
shit
they
again.
still going to be in
Like,
rebuild next year? Is my question to you.
Oh,
I'm
so,
saying
like,
they
if they-
should not be in a
So
rebuild.
you're saying what direction should they take, basically?
yeah, I
Right.
guess
Yeah.
that's
No,
the-
I agree with that.
Yeah, like fuck the rebuild at this point.
You have the guy, right?
Yeah.
You partner him up early, right? Trae Young, perfect, right? Donovan Mitchell, why not?
Paul George could be available. I'm thinking he'll sign an extension.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you have players
But
available.
the thing is this.
You have young pieces. You have a pick. Listen, if you this draft class isn't the strongest. If you do end up getting the first overall pick, great. You could use that in play. If not, they might have your pick if you guys don't finish in the
We need
top
top
six,
six,
right?
yeah.
So let's just say there's a 7th pick. Give them 3-4 first for like a Trae Young, and then surround him and Victor Wembanyama and him and Trae Young with defenders,
Yeah, basically,
right?
essentially.
Like
Yeah.
if Herb Jones becomes available, go get him
Yeah.
because they have an excess
like,
of stuff too.
Devin Vassell's a decent young player.
Yeah, you're
Jeremy
probably gonna
Jeremy Sohan is a decent
you're
young
probably
player.
gonna trade two of them.
Yeah.
I think Keldon Johnson might be gone,
Yeah.
right? You have Popovich there already. You have Victor Wembanyama. This is your rebuild year. You move on. Done. You're done. Go get players around him because whatever he's averaging is insane. Like
Has more.
He's figured out the NBA. In
He
his
has
year.
more blocks than like some NBA teams in the month of February.
Exactly. Right. Like look at what's his numbers. I gotta pull it up.
It's insane. It's video game.
Yeah. Like we're gonna have him versus
It's-
Chet for years to come.
it's
It's gonna be insane.
Wemby's numbers are player career at a low difficulty.
Usage at 32%, PER 26, minutes per game 28. So he's not even like fully in. 20 points per game, or if you want to round it up, is 21, 20.7, right? 3.4 assists per game, still an underrated playmaker. He'll probably get that higher up. 10 rebounds a game already. 46 from the field. 3-point could be better. That's 33, but again, it's Wembanyama. 81 from the free throw line for a center that big. He's already had 81 double-doubles. 31 double-doubles.
like 81 double doubles.
2 triple-doubles. We've seen him get a 5x5 or close to 5x5s in general, right?
How many blocks per game?
1.3 steals per game, 3.3 blocks per game,
3.3 blocks.
right?
That's crazy.
Like we're gonna have him versus Chet. Like like I want them to hurry up. That Spurs team versus that Thunder team going forward in the future is gonna be insane.
You just go get it. Go get it right now.
Their rebuild has insanely, like it skyrocketed. How our views went for that Canucks or subscriber count went after that Canucks video did. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So like when you look at the charts, like yeah, like I agree with you. Yeah, they're currently in a rebuild. I get that. Should they still be on a rebuild? Hell no. You found the guy. This isn't Anthony Edwards. I'm sorry, don't disrespect to Anthony Edwards where you need to rebuild and maybe get another
This
pick.
is you have the generational. It's
Yeah.
generational, right? Like
The greatest prospect since LeBron. The
Did-
greatest prospect
like-
maybe ever.
look at the Cavs then, right? Study what the Cavs did and do the exact opposite.
Yeah, and then they made the playoffs after his rookie year.
No, it's not even that. Just look at what the Cavs did
Yeah.
and do the exact opposite.
Oh yeah, that too.
Because the Cavs were shit.
LeBron was good enough to take him to the playoffs
Yeah.
as a young
The
guy.
Cavs were shit,
Yeah,
right? Other than LeBron.
and they made the playoffs.
Exactly.
And you have a better coach in hand here, right? So yeah, that they have to. Like when
Yeah.
that team needs to get off a rebuild and just go get pieces. Like how we said for the Houston Texans.
Yeah,
This
just
guy's
do
in a
it.
rookie deal.
Just
He's
do it.
obviously gonna get the max within like extend him ASAP. I don't know if you're allowed to next year. You just do it, and then you go get a Trae Young or whoever that will fit his mold, and then you just surround him with wing defenders, kind of like what the Celtics are doing. Minus like obviously they have Tatum and Brown as the star players. This time, just get that's a team that could use a Mikal Bridges.
That's about to say. I was legit about to say that right now.
like that's the
I think you
team.
get a Trae Young, you add in Mikal Bridges,
OG's a free agent. Throw him the bag
bro. Like
as long as he's healthy.
if you get like OG and Mikal Bridges as your two forwards,
Yeah,
that'd be-
at this point we're like
that'd be nuts defensively. Yeah.
dreaming a little bit,
But yeah, so is that wrap up NBA talk?
Yeah, we'll wrap up with the NBA talk there.
But basketball talk hasn't been wrapped
We
up.
got to talk about this. 2 big news with the same player in Caitlin Clark. Let's start off with the first news that happened today. She has officially passed both men and women Div 1 scoring, which was held by LSU's Pistol Pete Maravich. She's now the all-time leading scorer in college basketball Division 1 history.
Both men and women.
Yeah, so
And
she already surpassed
Kelsey
Kelsey Plum
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. She now has passed Pete Maravich. That's news number 1. News number 2, before we overall react to Caitlin Clark, because I think we might have to even do a clip of her if we have to. Caitlin Clark has officially declared for the WNBA draft Indiana Fever. You've got your star duo because you got Aaliyah Boston from last year. She's officially declared it. She's like, obviously she said, paraphrasing, job's not finished yet. She still wants that title, right? Like how everybody wants. Obviously Sabrina Ionescu was up there when she got drafted. She might have eclipsed that hype, right? No disrespect to Sabrina, but Sabrina's killing it herself, right? Everybody was talking about Paige Beckers a lot, and rightfully so. Before she was hurt, Caitlin Clark put herself in that conversation, and obviously now Paige Beckers, to your point, is like underrated because of what Caitlin Clark is doing.
It's legit. When you come into freshman years, like Paige Beckers was the story.
Yeah.
Then Paige Beckers got hurt, and then it's Caitlin Clark. Now Paige Beckers in that Caitlin Clark situation in freshman.
Yeah.
So how does Paige Beckers go under Caitlin Clark?
The bigger thing is because Caitlin Clark went to Iowa, and she's in UConn, which is a powerhouse, right?
Yeah, UConn is a powerhouse.
But no, going back to Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, again, all the love she deserves. I'm not saying that. We definitely did not tune into much NCAA in general, but NCAA basketball.
It's legit. When we started watching the women's college basketball March Madness was when Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark first started playing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember that COVID year, like
it was COVID year. Arizona,
2021.
Arizona went off. It was it was that Stanford team led by Cameron Brink.
Yeah.
You had obviously the South
So
Carolina
like
team,
Paige Beckers,
Boston.
we watched Paige Beckers Iowa versus UConn in like I think, I don't know if it's Sweet 16 or Elite 8, whatever it was.
Was it that COVID year?
Yeah. They played each other in that first freshman year. And then obviously you had the game against Baylor. Like that's when we started watching it.
Yeah.
And then
Ari McDonald.
it's because of Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark.
Dad's favorite player, Ari McDonald.
Yeah. It's because of Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark. That's why we started watching. But question to you, if Caitlin Clark does pull it off this year and wins the title for Iowa, is this the greatest college career ever?
Well, I can't comment because we haven't watched much.
We haven't watched
That's
much,
the thing, right? Like obviously her idol is Maya Moore. I saw a clip of it before we started recording. She's obviously up there. You have the UConn girls up there. You have the Tennessee girls, which I think was because
I feel
Candace Parker is up there.
Like imagine if she won last year.
Yeah.
Right. Just imagine.
I was rooting for her to win it last year. No disrespect to LSU, they deserved it too.
Yeah.
But she's obviously the bigger story. We'll see what happens. But
no,
here's the thing, right?
You have to win one.
Caitlin, it's tough, right? Like Sabrina,
it's very tough to win.
Sabrina's opportunity went away because she went to a smaller ish school.
I know it's very tough to win, but like,
especially
I'm saying, like, if you're gonna be in that conversation of greatest college career, you have to.
She's already up there.
You have to win. She's up there. She's up there, but
her stats alone.
She doesn't have it though. She doesn't have it. Because you got to win.
You have to look at the school, right?
As well.
It's easy to say that.
If you take Iowa, like I'm not saying she has to win 2. She has to win 1.
I still think she has a better college career than Angel Reese.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm saying that.
I'll say that right now.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Point.
Like Angel Reese was her team. Like LSU's a better team.
Yeah.
Right. Like a team like that, you have to win like 3 or 4 to be one of the greatest. Like UConn, Paige Beckers had to have won like 3 to have the greatest.
Paige hasn't won one, right?
No.
So if Paige won, Caitlin doesn't win. Who has the better college career?
I'll probably say I'll go with Caitlin because in my opinion, when you have the better team, you got to win like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, so you're saying it that way? Okay.
Yeah, like Caitlin Clark only needs to win once.
Yeah.
Because Iowa isn't that good.
Well,
compared to Caitlin Clark, like Caitlin Clark's carrying.
Yeah.
Right. It's simple.
No disrespect to everybody else.
Yeah. No disrespect, but like you're getting carried by Caitlin Clark.
All right. Question for you. Simple as I mean, not even a question. I'm gonna say a statement. You could agree or disagree. We've always talked about how fun athletes are to watch, and we aren't big college people until recently. So my point is like we've seen Luka, he's fun. Shea this year, fun. Trae Young, Steph Curry especially.
Yeah, all these guys.
Right. In hockey, it's McDavid, McKinnon.
Just you name it, like
Shohei
they
Ohtani,
are.
Messi, all that. Honestly, Caitlin Clark and basketball in general, for me personally, this is not like an all-time list we're making of everybody's opinion. She's up there. Like she could arguably be in my top 5 current exciting players
in basketball.
Watch.
Or just in general?
Even just athletes in general.
In general.
Because she's so fun to watch.
She is.
Everything she does, right? Like if you're saying Steph Curry's in there, you got to put Caitlin Clark up there as well. Yeah. Especially with that team that she, like when she goes
like
against
if we're
these
watching,
teams.
right, at the end of the day, like, obviously Messi is going to top our list.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right there.
In their primes, especially.
I feel like Mahomes is going to be in the list as well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
like, definitely feel like Mahomes is going to be.
Mahomes, Lamar, all these
Ohtani
guys.
has to be in the list as well.
Yeah.
I feel like those are top 3.
That's for you. Again, I have to. I would need to sit down and like double guess myself. Like
you have to think about it. You definitely have to think about it. I have my top 3. Those are my top 3.
Yeah.
Like that's locked.
That's your personal top 3.
Yeah.
I still don't know mine yet. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like you have to put this girl in consideration.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like
100%.
There's like I've not seen a college athlete like this, men and women. As much as I love De'Aaron Fox, when I watched that year, Lonzo Ball killed it in UCLA. I get that, and all those guys there. Even afterwards, Jalen Suggs and that Gonzaga team. But man, this like Kaylin Clark, holy hell, she's gonna be the Sabrina's already doing it a little bit with that Steph Curry 3-point contest. Kaylin Clark is gonna and Paige Beckers eventually. Maybe Angel Reese will elevate women's basketball. I will be tuning into Indiana Fever games with her and Boston. That pick and roll.
It'll be insane. Do I think they'll win? No, because we already know it's between Vegas and New York. But imagine the scenes if they find a way to land the number 1 pick again.
I doubt it. I think they're way too good not to.
I know they're way too good not to. Like, it's gonna be tough,
unless
right?
They trade for it.
Unless they trade for it. But like, say whatever, a lot of teams are good. Yeah, they're too young. They don't have their great best rookie or whatever, and they find a way to get Paige Beckers for the next year's draft.
I feel like Paige Beckers doesn't want that just because the legacy side of
yeah, but you just probably drafted the greatest big 3 in WNBA history.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I think they drafted the big 2 already.
Yeah,
at least from what we know, right? But yeah, no, we had to give a certain slot for this because that how amazing she is as a player. We just never had the chance to watch her this year, but I just can't wait for the March. We are in March, so March Madness is
coming.
And what we'll try to get our knowledge up a little bit once we start the things. I don't know if we'll do a bracket. Do you want to do a live bracket? Just go with it.
Well, never really done a March Madness bracket.
No, I know, but we have to sign up. Whatever, we might do it on a recording since we have a platform to do it. So let's see.
Yeah.
But
first ever.
Let's stop the NBA or basketball general talk there. Let's move on. Do you want to talk about reffing now, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, we'll keep the reffing short. We'll get this done right now, and we'll keep it short. Reffing, it's shit.
This is going to be across all sports.
Yeah. All right. One of the recent cases is DeJounte Murray getting a technical foul for sitting on the bench and not talking to Tony Brothers, which is the ref,
or just walked by him
or walked by him, whatever. Ignored him. He didn't say anything. He was just players locked in. Got a technical for that. I said that woman referee who got Strauss handed him ball.
Yeah.
Or heard the ball, and got a tech for that. I think this one might be a little bit worse. But they're equally shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, a bunch of calls. You see Canucks games. Especially how inflated their penalties were.
Yeah.
As well. Yes, some are on the Canucks players. Some of it were pretty bullshit. Obviously, we saw Eric Ten Hag lose his head a little bit in the Manchester derby with Rashford getting fouled. It was a foul. Could Rashford stayed up? Yes. I'm all in the boat that Rashford stayed up and running. But at the end of the day, it was a foul. It's not good. At the end of the day, it's not good. And the only way to make it better is they need to get fined for their mistakes now. Yeah, at this rate, right? Because you can't just have a ref come out. Oh yeah, we missed the call, right? The Jalen Brunson one, we missed the call. Oh yeah, whatever. Nobody cares. Game's over.
Yeah.
Right. So at this rate, what can you do? You have to find them. How you find the players.
We're gonna talk about only the games sports that we watch specifically, but right. This is my thing, right? Basketball's tough to officiate in terms of because it's the fastest sport. It's gonna be tough.
It's also a little bit. It's people are looking for calls.
Yeah,
right? So it's a little bit softer.
Every sport does that.
It's a softer league as well.
It's all sports, like you said, it's a softer league that way. So obviously we have a game on in the background. It's gonna be a fast game. We get there's gonna be mistakes. So that's why I outside of those stupid texts they give is the gripe we have with basketball.
No. So I could understand whatever you missed, the Jalen Brunson call, whatever you missed that you didn't call it, or whatever. It just shit happens.
Last year, Tatum on LeBron foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those technical fouls are legit.
That's the one that's causing
are
issues.
fire worthy, bro. You should lose your job worthy. That's how bad they are.
What about that Raptors Lakers game from earlier this year?
But those are in games, right?
But those are tough. They should have.
They're game fouls, right? Yeah. They're game calls, right? Whatever you miss some, you do it, right?
Yeah.
You can't miss many. Obviously.
I think the two worst are baseball.
Yeah.
And soccer.
Angel Hernandez.
Because here's the thing, right? Hockey's a fast-paced sport. I feel they're kind of obvious calls, though, right? Because you could easily tell the high stick and the hooking and the tripping.
NFL's been pretty shit. And
NFL is easy to tell half the time. I think that's been the best out of the 5. That's just me. I don't know. It depends.
Honestly,
every person has their own.
All of them have been so bad. You can't even pick a best.
But for me, baseball obviously with Angel Hernandez, but soccer is bad because the reason why soccer I think is one of the worst is because you have VAR for a reason, and then they use the power and it's so inconsistent.
So inconsistent. Yeah.
With when the whistle, like the Madrid situation that happened,
Oh yeah, the Bellingham.
Um,
Yeah.
and then like people get suspended like Bellingham will, because he got red carded.
Like that's the worst part, right? Like the players have every right to react the way they do,
Yeah,
and they get punished, right? Bellingham suspended; he's missing the next game, right? Darko Rajakovic and Mike Brown got fined.
Vanni
For-
Sartini.
Vanni Sartini got suspended, right? He missed the first Whitecaps game.
He's
Right.
missed the first couple. I
He's
think,
gonna miss
but
first couple, yeah. So like they have every right to react that way. They genuinely do.
Yeah, as
But
long as they're
they-
not like swearing at you or doing
Or
something
yeah,
personal.
but like they do have every right, and they're gonna get punished because
Yeah,
they're reacting to the ref bad. Like at the end of the day, like Silver, I don't think Adam Silver is gonna do anything unless a ref punches a player.
yeah.
Like
I feel like no. Give him credit. Ben Taylor got suspended.
okay, yeah, that's
right?
fair. Yeah,
They've done. NHL's bad at it.
NHL doesn't.
NHL's terrible at it. Right?
Like remember,
refs need to have a post game presser.
yeah, remember the time? I think it was 2 years ago or 1 year ago. I'm not sure. But like the ref got called on the hot mic in the NHL
Yeah.
saying, "I'm gonna give a penalty right now."
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Like that is really bad.
But yeah, no, like for me, I think soccer's the worst just because it's a slower sport, so you could see certain things. But
Plus
then
you have
get
VAR.
like how did Casemiro get a red card for that choking situation last year? But then this year, the guy had his hand on Bruno's neck and it was nothing.
It's so
Right.
inconsistent, right? Like we've seen so many of those stud tackles, like standing on people.
Yeah,
Some get given red cards, some don't.
yeah.
Right? We've seen, obviously
I-
penalty
so do you
situation.
think VAR made it
We-
worse?
We've seen the Liverpool VAR situation, and ever since that, Liverpool's been getting the calls because they had a situation
Yeah.
against Nottingham Forest where it was a drop ball. I think Canare went to the ground, head injury. Nottingham had the ball, but the ref didn't give Nottingham the ball back. They gave it to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Led to a corner. Liverpool scored the game-winning goal off the corner
Do
or
you,
that
so
corner
do you think
sequence.
VR made it worse, or like
Oh,
instant
yeah.
replays like NBA made it worse, like that type of stuff?
I mean, I can't say it made it worse. And if I'm looking at this,
The flow of the game's changed.
right, the flow of the game changed, all that stuff. The reason why I'm not going to say it made it worse because they're used to help you,
Yeah,
right? If I'm looking at that perspective. But if I'm looking at the perspective, like, it made it worse, right?
Yeah,
If you're looking,
start
if you're
double
looking,
guessing and
if
everything.
you look at the game stuff, whatever, it made it worse. But like when you're looking at the idea of VAR, the idea of
Yeah.
replay,
100%.
it's supposed to help you, but it's made it worse.
Yeah, we'll cap it there. We're probably gonna revisit this eventually again.
Yeah.
But let's go to soccer then, because speaking of referees, blue cards are now absent from latest changes by football lawmakers. Obviously, there was a huge backlash. We disagreed with it as well. So, yeah, the controversial sin bin trial featuring blue cards was absent from the latest changes made by football's lawmakers to improve player behavior on Saturday. It was reported earlier in February that blue cards were set to be part of a trial. So
So it failed.
the negative response to the proposal from Premier League managers like Jurgen Klopp, Tottenham's Ange Postecoglou, played a role in the trial being delayed. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said on Friday that he wasn't aware blue cards were intended to be used in the trial, and said his organization was completely opposed to the idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is this classic FIFA shit? at this
So
point?
it's simply this. It failed.
Yeah.
And
Well, it didn't try it. Like,
it failed before it began.
yeah.
Right? And let's never bring it up again.
Exactly. But yeah, that's that talk. Let's quickly go over some quick soccer news. Manchester derby, standing wise, it's still Liverpool, it's still City, and it's still Arsenal.
Arsenal has a game in hand, but
Game in hand, yeah, probably should win.
They should win, yeah.
honestly. Champions League is back actually, so we're gonna talk about that. I believe Champions League is back. Yeah, March 5. So let's talk about that right now. 2-0 PSG's up on Sociedad, closing it out.
PSG's closing.
Okay, Bayern Munich, Lazio. Lazio's up 1-0. They could say if Bayern Munich does not go through, Tuchel will get fired. He will get sacked, right immediately.
I'm going with the upset.
You still sticking by it?
I'm sticking with Lazio.
Okay, so that means you're going with the Tuchel better get sacked moment.
Yeah.
Tuchel gets sacked. Do you think Bayern Munich win the league?
No, it's too far.
Too far?
10 points with 10 games. 10-point lead in 10 games.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
But Bayern have to choke themselves.
I haven't, like, from what I've seen of Bayer,
yeah.
they have
They
this,
would have to choke themselves.
Yeah, no, but
as well.
they're showing no signs
Yeah.
of choking, right?
Madrid's at home against Leipzig, already up 1-0.
Madrid, I'm still gonna stick with that.
Yeah, because Jude's not suspended for that.
Yeah, Madrid,
City should close that out.
City,
at
yeah.
home. Okay, here are the two big ones. I'm gonna close those out in a second. Let's go. Inter is away to Atletico. Inter's up 1-0.
I think Inter is gonna close it out.
This is actually a week later though, but we'll just quickly
Yeah,
talk
I
about
think
it
Inter will win.
now. Dortmund and PSV are tied 1-1.
I think Dortmund wins. I'm going with Dortmund still.
Okay, and here's the big ones. Barcelona, Napoli are tied at 1-1. Barcelona will be home.
I think Barcelona were the better team in leg one. I think they'll continue that form. I think Barcelona will edge it out as well.
No, wait, is it? Stadium Estadi Olympic Luis Companies. Is that the Camp Nou? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Let me just
They were in Italy before. They were definitely in Italy before.
Yeah, London. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't know that was location Barcelona.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the new camp's name. Okay, so you're going with Barcelona.
Yeah.
Okay. I still have to give my predictions on this. Arsenal back at home, up 1-0 on.
I'll
Porto.
give it to Arsenal. I definitely have more faith in them than I do in Byron. So if I were to pick one to like pull it off a comeback, it will be Arsenal.
Okay, so everything you said I agree with out of the obvious ones, the ones that obviously are tough. I think Atletico Inter Milan will be a draw, which means Inter will go through. I'm gonna make that game will be a draw.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. Yeah.
Obviously Dortmund I think should go through. They're home. So Barcelona Napoli. Yeah, I have Barcelona winning it off in the beginning. I don't think that's the case, but I'm gonna.
I just like Napoli did not look good at that game, bro. And like Napoli haven't the both teams haven't looked good, but Barca were the better team.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where the big one is. Arsenal home to Porto, down 1-0. Bayern Munich home to Lazio, also down 1-0. I don't know what I said last time when we talked about this.
I don't remember.
I think I said I had more faith in Bayern to go through. I believe that's what I said.
I don't remember what you said. I'll be honest with
I
you.
genuinely forget because like with Bayern, how they're struggling it changes a lot, right? I think both Bayern and Arsenal will go through. If I have more faith in someone, I think I'm giving it to Bayern.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll give it to Bayern just because they've been there and done that in the Champions League. Now, I get the coaching is different. Arsenal hasn't been there as well.
They haven't been a good European team, right?
Yeah.
These last couple of years, right? They choked in the Europa League,
Yeah.
right? So it's fair to say,
So I still think both will go through. I know you're still going with the upset in Bayern.
yeah.
I think Bayern will pull off like a 2-0 win or make it 2-1.
Yeah, if they're
and go
playing
to
at
PKs.
home, right? That's fair. They should.
Yeah.
They should. At the end of the day.
Okay, so those are our predictions. We'll obviously cover the first week of matches the next episode as well. Sticking with soccer, big news coming out. This was actually reported earlier, now official. Juventus midfielder, former Man United guy, Paul Pogba, banned 4 years for doping. Ever since Paul Pogba went to Juventus, it's just been story after story, him being injured, not on the field. The other one was the whole family fiasco, witchcraft stuff.
Yeah.
Which was so weird. Like his brother's part of like a rival gang or something like that. But yeah, this time now he's got accused for doping. So he's 4 years up following a positive test for testosterone. Last August, his club Juventus said on Thursday he will be appealing as well. Which risks bringing a premature end to his career. He said, "I'm sad, shocked, and heartbroken that everything I've built in my professional playing career has been taken away from me." Declaring the verdict was incorrect. He denied ever using PEDs. Yeah, so that ban means Pogba will not be able to play again until 2027, 2028, which means he'll be 34.
And that's going to be very tough. 4 years, obviously, is going to be very tough to come back from, especially when he be 34.
Yeah.
Pogba, one of the probably biggest fall-offs I've seen in my life. Pogba was supposed to be that guy. Pogba had his moments in Man United, also had his terrible moments in Man United. But yeah, it sucks to say it because like I loved Pogba. I loved watching Pogba.
Yeah.
Right? I was really happy when Man United did get Pogba. But yeah, it just hasn't worked out in his career. Like like Pogba versus De Bruyne was that rivalry. It did not live up to it because it was very heavily De Bruyne.
And yeah,
it was just very heavily De Bruyne favored.
Paul Pogba could be the biggest what if story.
He is one of the biggest what if stories. Yeah.
Okay, so you think his career is done if this upheld?
Yeah.
You think MLS will not give him a chance at age 34?
Oh, like yeah, that could happen. Probably like, he's not playing European ever.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, like, he's currently struggling with injuries and stuff. Anyways, yeah, it's tough. Like I've seen Pogba clips; they've been insane.
Bro, they're like
in the right situation with Man United, he was insane. Yeah, it's a
when we see
potentially being one of the best midfielders of all time.
Paul Pogba, when we see him play at his best, he took over games.
Look at France, the France games.
Yeah,
Now I
like
get it, that team's stacked.
yeah, that
but
team is
still.
stacked.
But like,
Obviously,
just still look at the midfield, how you ran it.
yeah, him and Conte. Obviously,
Yeah.
a lot of people give credit to Conte for that. But like when you see Man United, that was his team,
Yeah.
right? He was the best player on that team. When we saw Pogba at his best, remember the City 3-2 comeback
Yeah. It was led by him.
led by him. Paul Pogba had 2 goals that game. Paul Pogba, at his best, took over games. You can't deny that from him. Paul Pogba, the talent is there. It just hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
It is one of the biggest what if stories
It is.
in sports, definitely in soccer history as well.
All right, last bit of news of soccer. This is big for us being Canadian. Canada Soccer have found their general secretary finally.
Yeah,
He's a Canadian, which is good, but I was confused because he went to school in the States. They hire Canada Soccer hires Golf Canada executive Kevin Blue as CEO and general secretary. Born in Montreal, Blue fills the gap left by sudden departure of Alison Walker. Everybody's saying, please do not quit after a day, I guess, like, or whatever it was. Yeah, he went to school in Cal Davis, he's associate director of athletics at Stanford University, which is his alma mater as well. So obviously his first number one job is probably figure out 2 things: finances and coaching. He did say that Mauro Biella has a chance, which is fair.
he has a chance.
Because
Yeah,
Canada have a game in a couple of weeks, 1 game playoff, which we were incorrect on last time. We said 2 game. It's just a single 1 game playoff against Trinidad and Tobago, who they should beat to go to the Copa America, right? Obviously, me and you were saying that it should not be Biello, it should be someone else. We see the honorary links, whatever. I don't care. I agree with maybe Peter Galindo, Alexander Ganji Ruzic. Peter Galindo before he took the TFC job. About a guy from CPL, even like
that's
someone that could develop and have the respect of players. Which Henry will have the respect of players. We don't know if he'll have the
we don't know if
tactics.
Henri will just get the job done.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, it's good signs because now we finally have someone in control.
hopefully.
Hopefully, right? Hopefully, it doesn't back out.
Yeah,
And then obviously, head coaching issues for the men's side as well. So we'll see. Is this going to be a bright step forward for what it's been a dark time? It should be. But then again, it has been Canada Soccer. So everything, once you do one good moment, they take 2 steps backwards, right? So that's how Canada Soccer just run, or has been.
He is scheduled to take up his new position starting March 14. So
Yeah.
a couple of Canada Soccer news in general. Our cousin, Jeevan Badwal, U20 team has officially qualified for the CONCACAF Championships, which is also the World Cup qualifier as well for the U20s. That will be happening in the summer. He had the game-winning assist of that closing game against Trinidad and Tobago. With that's that.
What a ball.
And the other from the women's side of things, they have qualified for the semi-final for the Gold Cup. Obviously, they had to play Costa Rica again before beating them in the final group stage game. They had to play them again. Could not find a way to score. And then what's her name?
Sheridan.
Kaylin Sheridan did not do anything the whole game until the 93rd minute, where she had to make probably the most outrageous save I think I've seen in soccer this year, at least overall soccer.
Like calendar year.
Calendar year, not even just calendar year, maybe the last
One of the best seasons, like of the season. Yeah, one of the best saves.
Yeah,
in overall soccer. Yeah.
I'm just double checking because right now they're supposed to. Okay, USA haven't played yet because Mexico upset the US. USA ended up going on their side of the bracket, which I think USA will beat Colombia. The semifinal on Wednesday at 4, which is pissing me off. Why is it at 4?
Canada should be playing USA in the semifinal.
So we will talk about that game after because
They'll
we'll
get
be
a
recording our
reaction,
podcast. Yeah. So that's the just the Canada soccer side of things as well. Let's go NFL because that's also a big week. So we're gonna have a lot of busy stuff coming up.
Yeah, free agents will be hitting too.
So Combine has been going on. You take out the standout list while I talk about the news from the NFL side. So let's talk about the NFL news, the cuts that have happened that I know on the top of my head. The biggest news is right now that just literally broke is Chiefs are to franchise tag L'Jarius Sneed. He has also been given the opportunity to seek a trade because he wants a lot of money, rightfully so. So let's see what they do because the Chiefs' number 1 priority should be Chris Jones, obviously. And
then probably Sneed, number 2 priority.
Yeah, but like if they're going to allocate money, they've obviously cut Marcus Valdes-Scantling, opened up some space, but then they still need a weapon.
We know the Chiefs' priorities, man. It's Jones, Sneed, wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's all they got to do. They have a draft pick, right? They've obviously the cap's gone up, which is going to help them a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
So that's news
if they
number
can't
one.
get it done, Snead will be traded.
Oh, remind me to talk about baseball. I
Yeah.
forgot to add that.
If they can't get it done, Snead will be traded.
Yeah.
All right.
No, before you go to that, let me finish
Yeah,
with the NFL. The other big news is that Mike Evans plans to explore free agency. This does not mean he's ruling out a return with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He did say last year, if you're not going to sign me to what I want, I will test out free agency. He's living up to that word. I as non-biased fan, I said Houston, ring, call him up. However, it looks like they won't. They're prioritizing a guy like Saquon, which I get because they believe in Nico Collins, who emerged last year.
And then Tank
But
Dell.
I would love to have him as a number 2 with Mike Evans, right?
Like,
Tank Dell was injured. He's coming off an injury.
he's coming back. Yeah.
So there's that. Like, I'm not saying Nico Collins is not a number 1. I just need to see another year of it.
I mean, he
but
played like a number 1 last
But
year.
I feel like you should just go. Like what Mike Evans described as he wants go on a team that has is capable of winning a Super Bowl, wants to get paid, play with an elite quarterback, not like a rookie quarterback. Houston checks off all those boxes.
CJ's not a rookie. CJ's not a rookie.
Yeah, he's elite. I think they could be the favorites to win the division next year, which means I'm not saying they're Super Bowl contenders, but Mike Evans could put them over the top, and then they could still go get Saquon Barkley as well. If they really want.
So
to.
yeah, this probably rules out the Colts.
Yeah.
For Colts fans, us
It could
fans.
be, yeah.
But yeah,
So there's that. Any other? I think other cuts were. This is a big one, honestly. If you look at the O line, as much as it's not like the fanciest position to look at as a casual fan, but Tyron Smith is gonna hit free agency. Return is very unlikely. That's one. Mark Lewinsky for Colts fans is a cut as well.
one Bayard got cut as well.
Yeah,
I think.
that was the other big one. Kevin Byard, who did not do well with the Eagles. I still think he's one of the top safeties in the league. I'm not saying he's at the level of Justin Simmons was last year or Jesse Bates was last year.
Kyle Hamilton
As well, but I still think
Winfield.
I still think he's a top 10 safety.
Yeah, no, if he's on his game, he's definitely in the top 10. Yeah, that's
so
for sure.
He'll be a good add anywhere. So that's a big one there. Another news that came out today is not like, I don't know how true it is, but Marshawn Lattimore could be moved because the Saints are in cap hell.
Oh, they are in cap hell. That is for sure.
So there's that. Yeah, so that's the football news side of things. Free agency should be starting soon. We'll be looking to get an NFL guest on, hopefully, to talk about that. But yeah, bring up the combine.
All right, so Score released an article, 15 players on the rise after the NFL Combine. So their draft stock should be risen after the Combine performances. I'll just name them, I guess, all
Yeah, just name
15.
them.
Yeah. Wide receiver, Adonai Mitchell from Texas.
He was their number 2 option.
Florida State, Braden Fisk, D tackle. Kenyon Mitchell, cornerback, who's from Toledo. Obviously,
Yeah.
first round aspirations for him. Wide receiver from Georgia, Lad McConkey. You got tight end from Penn State, Theo Johnson. You got Dallas Turner, Alabama.
That was a big one. He might rise because of this.
Yeah.
Even more.
Dallas Turner had an incredible one. Peyton Wilson from, I don't know what logo that is.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Linebacker. Max Melton is a cornerback as well. Good rise. Texas Longhorns running back, Jalen Wright. Then you got Chop Robinson from Penn State.
I heard his name.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I heard he might actually go in the first round, which I was a little bit surprised about.
And then Xavier Worthy, your
Yeah.
new official fastest 40 time.
John Ross, where did he play again?
Clemson.
Yeah, okay, I had a feeling it was that one.
Then you have a running back, Isaac Guerrero, Tyler Owens as a safety, and then you got Washington's Troy Fatanu, who's an O-lineman. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, Xavier Worthy, probably the biggest highlight of the Combine.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not going to see... Caleb Williams is going to do his pro day. The one that surprised me is Marv is not even going to do his pro day. And he's going without, like...
Any workouts?
in a way, but without an agent and everything. What's his name? Jaden Daniels said the reason why he's gonna do his pro day isn't because he's being selfish and not do the combine and risk that, but he wants to showcase his receivers and tight ends or whoever, because that's how Alec Pierce rose when the Colts visited Desmond Ridder, and he was the pass catcher, and then we ended up drafting him. So which is fair. I get both perspectives. I wish they could do the combine a little bit more. Obviously, the combine helped a guy like Anthony Richardson, helped CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud was incredible
all that
in
bullshit
combine.
stuff that was going on last year, right? And it could help some people better or for worse. and we saw a guy got hurt. I forget who it was. Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins. He put up a good 40 time, but then got injured,
slightly
unfortunately.
injured, but so those are some of the big news. I think the big news that came out of that is at number 3, the New England Patriots are looking to take quarterback. So which is good news for Cardinals fans because they could get Marvin Harrison Jr.
And they're planning on keeping Kyler Murray, so that's big for them. Top 3 should be quarterbacks if the news is true. Obviously, a lot of people do draft baits.
Yeah.
Like Houston, like, oh, we might not take Stroud. We might not take quarterback at all type of thing.
And Ballard said it perfectly. Everybody's a liar.
Everybody's a liar at draft day.
Yeah. So
or when it comes to drafting.
He said, not Ballard, but the mock drafts we saw yesterday night was right now Caleb number 1. He said he's fine with playing with Chicago. Number 2 was actually Jaden Daniels. And number 3 is Drake May.
Yeah.
So there's that. The prospect that I think you agree with me, who I think I'm intrigued of where he's going to go because he has the biggest range, is tight end Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock Bowers we saw him as early as 5 to the Chargers and as late as 18 to the Bengals.
Yeah.
So I think 5 to 18 range is perfect. If he's available at 18, Bengals are no way passing on him. They shouldn't, right?
People are saying Colts should get him because of the fit with Steichen.
It will fit.
How much is it because of his injury? Because I thought it was going into the season.
I thought he was clearly top 5.
Yeah, going into the season,
he was top 5 lock.
It was like between him and Marv, and obviously Marv stood out more, and he was injured.
But
the other risk is you see Kyle Pitts go top 4, and he hasn't kind of lived up to it.
And then also with the injury, but then he had Malik Neighbors step up.
Yeah,
who's probably could go top 5 as well.
Yeah, there's that. There's a lot of talent. I can't
Obviously,
wait. I can't wait to talk.
Like O-line talent, right? You have Fashanu, you have Joe Alt, right? You have Dallas Turner as an edge. Chop Robinson's making noise.
Corners this year.
Corners, right?
Cooper DeJean. Coolidge fell, but like his teammate rose.
Tyrion Arnold.
The Toledo guy. Nate Wiggins, right?
Kenyon Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to do research on this just to see how it goes. But the last bit of NFL news is that right now it looks like Justin Fields is going to get traded. And the favorite as of right now is the Atlanta Falcons, which is fair.
Perfect fit.
So that's where I predicted he was going to go anyways. But let's see how that rolls out. Before we close it out with the NHL, the quick MLB news. Still spring training going on. Giants signed Matt Chapman. They agreed to a 1-year deal, $18 million, with 2 player options in there. I don't know why Score worded it like that.
So it's a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
He could opt out twice in his second year or his third year. $18 million per year, basically. And
I think it goes 20 something, but they worded it weird for this.
Yeah. So
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely annoyed. If this was the contract, and you should have gone Matt Chapman.
Yeah, because there was nobody else.
For the Blue Jays.
There's nobody else, right? We can't say you upgraded your team.
You did
at all in the free agency. And coming into free agency, you can't say money was an issue. Because you had $700 million allocated for Shohei Ohtani.
This is 600. Because I'm just saying.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm gonna say,
like $18 million is nothing compared to what you had budgeted out.
I just hate the fact that they're like, oh yeah, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to be the answer.
It's not.
Listen, I get Matt Chapman didn't have a great year, but guess what? He's still a Gold Glove, Platinum Glove.
He's better than Kiner-Falefa.
And then I trust his power more.
Chapman has more power. He might not
be consistent with it.
He might not be consistent. Obviously,
but the defense will be there.
Average might not be there as well. Defense is definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Especially on Bo Bichette's side, who has question marks. So Chapman covers Bichette well, type of thing. And then on top of that, like Justin Turner, he's not going to give you much defensively just because he's going to be more of your DH role.
Yeah.
Right. Bat. I'm happy that we got Justin Turner as a bat, but Justin Turner is very old. He's not the same Justin Turner he was in the Dodgers days.
So, we'll see how that goes. But the Jays get a 4th-round pick out of this. He also reunites with Bob Melvin, who he played for the Athletics, might be a big factor as well. But yeah, that's the Matt Chapman side of things. We're still waiting on Blake Snell, who reportedly. So these are the things that happened. My friend actually sent this to me right before we hit record. Matt Chapman was seeking 150+ million. By the way, speaking of Matt Chapman, you know how we were rumored to give him 6 years, 120 mil? I don't know if that was this offseason or during the year. Well, one, Matt Chapman looks like an idiot. But 2, if the fact that we were going to offer him that anyways, why not come back and match the offer or give, if it was 54 million, let's just say we give him 60.
Yeah.
Or 55 to 60, right?
Bellinger.
But anyways, he declined a 100+ million.
He definitely could have given something to Bellinger.
Yeah. Cody Bellinger was seeking 200+ million, only got 80. Blake Snell was seeking 300+ million. He declined a Yankees offer of 168 million, currently remains unsigned. And JD Martinez is seeking 50 plus million and still currently unsigned. Jays, I don't care. If you have like 5 DHs, go get JD Martinez.
Exactly at this rate. And then obviously.
Scott Boras had the most horrific offseason of his life, I think.
Yeah. And then one more guy that comes to mind on that list, Jordan Montgomery is also unsigned.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how he's not signed yet.
Yeah, especially his incredible World Series and postseason performances.
Yeah. Okay. Let's close it out on the NHL. Like I said,
NHL.
we're going to be light on it today, but we'll be heavy on it for Thursdays because of the trade deadline is on Friday. So that means just a heads up. I'm not kind of believing it till I see it, but if there are good trades, even if it's one, we will come out with an episode for Saturday just to recap the trade deadline. I have more faith in the NBA one, which obviously they've delivered, but not to the hype level.
Yeah.
But NHL usually hype level is low. If they make trades like a Soros or Gensel or whatever,
yeah.
then we'll make a video on it for sure. But
yeah, let's get into it.
but speaking of trades, the Leafs, I think Leaf fans are annoyed by this trade, but they reunite Ilya Lyubushkin for a pair of draft picks. The Ducks will retain 50% of Lyubushkin's $2.75 million contract, while the Carolina Hurricanes will retain an additional 25%. So the Canes will receive a 2024 sixth-round pick from the Leafs for doing this. And Toronto receives the rights to forward Kirill Slepets from Carolina as well. The Anaheim Ducks will receive the Leafs' 2025 second-round pick. We don't know much about Lyubushkin. We should be better on the research for this, for sure. But what I've seen was that if the Leafs fans are pissed that they did not get... They said they were in on the best defenseman possibly available in Chris Tanev and got the worst. Like, they got the worst out of it.
Yeah.
So they're saying that, well, if this was the offer, we gave up a second for Lyubushkin, why couldn't we have given up a first just straight up for Tanev and whatever the contract?
Yeah, this is like, what's the point? Like, your draft picks can be late.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, draft picks are valuable.
Listen, they're on the rise right now. Obviously, Jobin's on the side. Like, I gotta believe it to see it, but I still think they could be a sleeper team, like they always will be. But stuff like this won't help. I understand you're trying to help your defense here, but this isn't working as it should be.
Hey, you need a stud defenseman, and no disrespect to Lyubushkin, he's not a stud defenseman.
Yeah.
Right? He just is not. Let's move on to some Vegas news. Mark Stone is on LTIR, which means Vegas cleared up whatever his contract is. I think 6, 7, 8 million.
Tell me you have never heard this before.
LTIR, Vegas. Tampa Bay obviously did one with Kucherov as well.
Yeah.
And when they won the cup. So, yeah. So, do not be surprised if Vegas pull off a Jake Gensel trade.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised
Or
if they...
Toffoli.
Or
Jordan Greenway.
Or a Greenway. They have money, right? So, Canucks fans are just praying that, like, you know, Myers is going to be healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, but no, he's Elliot Friedman reported that he is not
LTIR eligible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He should be back before the playoffs.
So, yeah. So, Vegas have space.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Let's see how that goes.
Vegas are dangerous.
Like I said, we talked about the Elias Pettersson signing. If you're wondering why we're not talking about it today, we already dropped it. Make sure you guys check it out. It will probably be at the end of this podcast episode. You might link it on that thing as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. You do the editing. You figure that out. But the one report, though, I want to bring up, the reason why I brought up Toffoli and Greenway is Thomas Drance and Rick Dollywall dropped an athletic article saying that those are the names they're looking at to potentially add as well.
The Canucks are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said on that mini episode that we did on Pettersson, I said they need to find an elite partner.
They have
elite goal scoring partner.
Yeah.
Like Hyman is, right? So, yeah. So hopefully they do that. Speaking of a former Vegas Golden Knight, Marc-Andre Fleury will not be traded with the Minnesota. I was supposed to say Timberwolves. From the Wild. But closing out here, we got to address this. Like I said, we're Punjabi. We always talk about our Punjabi brothers here. Arshdeep Bains officially sent down to Abbotsford. Called up. Instead, it will be Vasily Podkolzin. And then because Myers is out, Matt Irwin is also called up. Arshdeep Bains, obviously, I think he struggled the last 2 games a little bit. The dumb penalties does not help. I still don't think it was a full Tocchet decision. I felt like it was like, okay, I
feel like they're just rotating
that just
some
to see
players.
who was there, right? Like,
yeah.
They might showcase Podkolzin. If Podkolzin does well, maybe a trade for Gensel might be in place, right? That could be a factor. Arshdeep Bains, like I said, I think he belongs. I still believe in that video we dropped that titled "He Belongs."
He belongs.
It's that, like, it is for development purposes. Instead of him being scratched, let him play.
Let him play in the
right?
AHL, yeah.
And now he knows, and he's proven that he comes back stronger than ever, and he what was the thing? He knows what to work on. Like
He knows what to
the
work
game
on, yeah.
speed. He knows that he needs to be better with the touches. He knows he needs to shoot more, right? So all those people that in the comments that were saying that it was a PR stunt, I still don't believe that. And the comments saying, "Oh, thank God they moved him. He doesn't belong at the NHL level." I agree that to a slight right now.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Did he turn heads? No, he didn't turn heads.
Yeah,
Did he shock anyone? No, he didn't. But the takeaway you have from Archdeep Baines' 4 games is that 5 games, that he could play at an NHL level.
yeah,
Or he has shown signs that he could play at an NHL level. And the Canucks just scored.
yeah.
Hoglander.
Now, keep that in mind. The Canucks as a team struggled, right? So it's not that Baines was the fallout guy for this. It's
Yeah.
because Baines is like we compared him to Alex Burrows because he's the guy that needs to play with good players, right?
Yeah.
When you see him do well, he was playing well with the top players. He was given a chance with Miller and Besser even in the last game before he got sent down,
Yeah.
right? So, again, I'm not saying that because
Again,
I'm
like,
Punjabi.
I think it was a positive 5 games,
Yeah,
right? Like, I think obviously where the negatives, yes, the biggest negative being penalty minute,
yeah.
right? But they were positive in the fact that, like, he played well defensively.
Smart, yeah.
He made smart plays, right? He changing issues weren't there were no changing issues,
Yeah.
right? He went off when he needed to go off, and then he had chances.
Yeah.
Definitely had.
He shot more in the last game for sure.
He definitely had chances. He could have scored in his last game against the Kings. He could have got his first NHL point in his first game against the Kraken. Obviously, the 2-on-1 where he didn't shoot, and then another one set up to Bluger, which Bluger got denied by
Yeah. So
Grubauer.
the point is that he knows what to work on. It's probably the game speed. Get used to that. I think he'll make the roster next year because of the whole free agency situation with them. But I'm not saying that because I'm Punjabi and I'm biased. I genuinely think he's shown a lot of flashes. Randeep Janda said it perfectly. It's a tough league for a young guy to be in, to play in and stay in that spot. And it's true. Like he especially for a guy with his experience, he isn't a Connor Bedard level prospect. He was obviously undrafted in both the junior and the NHL. But, like I said, he'll be back. I have no debate about that, whether it be with the Canucks or someone else. We hope with the Canucks. And I think Tocchet loves him. I think he still loves him. And he'll just be... Tocchet's someone who said we need to give him a look, and he did that. And now they want to see how Podkolzin does as well. And maybe that's just the effect of the change. Or it could just literally be the PD contracts, the reason why he got sent out. Because we thought he was going to stay up until Joshua comes back. But I think they're just rotating.
I feel like just rotating.
If Podkolzin sucks, then he'd probably get called up instantly.
And Paul Coulson been pretty, like, it's not like Paul Coulson doesn't deserve to be called up.
Yeah,
right?
but
Like
I'm saying Podkolzin does not do well. Like Linus Karlsson played like 1 or 2 games,
Yeah,
right? He at least stayed when he went in.
that is true.
And
Yeah,
he was given an opportunity
That is
with
true, yeah.
who was our best player for that stretch, which was JT Miller,
yeah, exactly.
right? So
And it doesn't help when the team was just
dreadful offensively.
Yeah.
But no, it is what it is. Learning experience. We'll see him back. That's all I gotta say.
yeah. I'm fully confident we'll see that. Back, yeah.
Okay, as I said, make sure you guys check out that Elias Pettersson reaction we dropped yesterday. Thank you guys for watching once again. Audio listeners, make sure you guys download, rate, and review it. Like this video, comment, subscribe comment your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel, Road to 500. We're there. We dropped our NBA tier list. I forgot to mention that at the beginning once again. But NBA tier list is out. Give your thoughts on that as well. We put some polls out. Just comment on the poll. Who do you think is the most surprising team and the most disappointing team in your eyes? And make sure you guys follow the social media. We always drop our TikToks, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, so subscribe as well. Other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.